we're recording. I guess that means it's time for us to start the show.
But now?
Yeah, now. Hi!
Hi!
And welcome back to a little cooperation. It's been a little while since you saw us last. Well, you've actually never seen us because it was a podcast. Although those of you that are still listening to this, you've still never seen us. So good for you.
Proud of you.
Creatures of habit. I like it. But Micah, it's good to see you.
It's good to see you. This is nifty.
Yeah. Well, it has been a little while. I think looking the other day, our last episode went up in December of 2015.
What year is it?
I think it's 2017 now. I don't know what happened. Time seemed to get away from us.
You're telling me that we deprived the world of us for a full year?
Well, we've deprived the world of us for far too long, and we're not going to continue to make that mistake. We're excited to be back with a little cooperation. This started as a seminary project in a contemporary Lutheran theology class. We were asked to share Lutheran theology without falling back on old Lutheran jargon terms. We got our name from the fact that Micah and I were both students in the LTSP, Lutheran Theological Seminary at Philadelphia, cooperative model of education for the Master of Divinity program. It was called the Co-op program, hence our creativity in the name. A little co-op eration.
Haha.
More jokes like that are the things that you can expect that are going to really set this show up. But since we got out of that semester where it was a grade, and when people stop evaluating you for what you're doing, it makes it harder to fit it into your schedule. So lo and behold, our schedules end up changing. I think because I ended up not being at the seminary the same days of the week that spring semester.
Yeah. You abandoned me.
I know. I felt bad about that. I felt worse the next year when I took all online classes. So, needless to say,
I only had one class.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. You had the time. No, we're not pointing fingers on this show. The listeners won't get that. Apparently you don't either. So we're back with more little cooperation. We're excited to bring this back, aiming for a different format to a certain extent. We're still going to publish this as a podcast, but we're also going to be posting this through YouTube and on our Facebook site. So we're looking forward to continuing this trend, and I think trying to really get back to the core of what it was that we were doing before, which was cooperation. In a nutshell, that's what we're looking to do again, and we're just excited to be back on. You got any thoughts on that, Micah?
Video scares me.
Yeah, those dumb looks that we gave each other before that no one was privy to, they're privy to that now. And so good luck, viewers. You're stepping into uncharted territory. But like we said, a lot has changed, and I think this would be a good opportunity for us to catch up a little bit and reintroduce ourselves to our listeners, and maybe even have our listeners who enjoy listening before reintroduce themselves to us through our various social media platforms. So, Micah, who are you now?
Who are you? As in, who am I, like in a faceless person kind of way, or?
No, that would be my dog.
Oh, right.
That's something else that's new.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself. What's been happening since December of 2015 to Micah George Cray?
Oh gosh. Well, since December of 2015, I completed my internship experience at Trinity Lutheran Church in Fairview Village, which was an amazing site. I learned so many incredible things from them. Did so much with their confirmation class, with their youth group, with their music programs, with the liturgy, with so many things across the board. I learned so much from that co-op experience. Throwing that in everywhere. But yeah, that was a great experience. I didn't have a whole lot of classes, as I said before, for 2016 and the first part of 2017. But I was able to kind of complete seminary academically, which was a lot of fun for me.
That's an important distinction.
It was fun. I took an incredible class with Professor Katie Day on Dietrich Bonhoeffer, which has greatly influenced me in a lot of the work that I do now alongside, which I hope we can have a podcast on that and a session on that at some point, reflecting on Dietrich Bonhoeffer. That might be a little more serious, but we'll see. Yeah, that was incredible. And then from there, I graduated from seminary and have since been called to the Delaware, Maryland Synod of the ELCA. So I have received my first call and have been ordained a pastor at Prince of Peace Lutheran Church in Rosedale, Maryland, which is on the northeast side of Baltimore. So it's still it's Baltimore County, not Baltimore City. So it's just outside the city limits. We're actually like the first suburb outside of the city limits. It is an amazing congregation. I serve there as the associate pastor alongside my colleague, Pastor Matt Furman, who is absolutely incredible. He is also a big Star Wars fan and a huge nerd. He just went to a gaming convention in Indianapolis here a couple weeks ago for a vacation. That just goes to show he is right up our alley as a great supervisor, mentor, and colleague. So really excited to work with him. It's a great congregation at Prince of Peace. They're doing a lot of amazing things, and I'm looking forward to sharing a lot of their ministries with this group as I get to know more about them. For right now, I'm kind of doing the normal thing when you start out. I'm learning the congregation, trying to settle in, and every time you take a step further into the pool, you wonder just how far out it goes. But this is an incredible congregation, and they're doing a whole lot with their ministries. So I'm excited to be a part of their ministry, and looking forward to where that takes me as I move forward. This is my new house. I did not buy it. I'm renting. Important distinction.
Yes.
And it's really, really fantastic. Moved in here. My girlfriend Sarah, who I've been dating for the last year or so, has been incredible in terms of helping me to get down here. So I'm really grateful for her and everything that she has done to help me get settled into this brand new world, which is really scary. But she just started her internship experience up, and she is a seminary student at the United Lutheran Seminary Philadelphia campus. And she just started her internship up in Manhattan, which is crazy because it's such an incredible city. She's at Trinity on the Upper West Side with Pastor Heidi Newmark. No big deal, just one of the most exclusive internship sites in one of the most amazing cities in the country.
Shout out to DJ Sergey on the ones and twos, doing big things in Manhattan.
Absolutely. But yeah, that's what's going on.
Was she the only person that helped you move into that house? Was anybody else? Nobody else helped you with that? No.
Who? Oh, it's this guy.
Oh, yeah.
This guy also helps me move in.
A lot of cooperation there.
A lot of cooperation there.
That was a fun day. That was a fun day. It was a good time.
Yeah.
So, well, that's exciting. No, I know that you've been doing some cool things there and getting settled in Maryland. That's awesome. Yeah. I need to get up there and visit that church. But
yeah, you do.
Yeah, we've got a little cooperation going here from two very different contexts. you being in an urban setting in Baltimore, and I'm still here in Luray, Virginia.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm wearing the New Jersey, but I mean, you're wearing what are you wearing there? What is it?
Still wearing purple. I still bleed it. I bleed purple.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Of the national champion Dukes of James Madison University.
Congratulations. That is a really big accomplishment. And it was huge. It was a blowout too. I mean, it wasn't even close.
For the fans at home, I apologize. Just general fans of football, that was a terrible football game. But for a JMU fan, we were in Frisco, Texas for this national championship game. I went to Texas twice over the last year. Once was to visit my fiance's family, and we got to Houston, and it was 115 degrees at night when we landed. We got to Frisco in January, and it was 15 degrees. That's a 100-degree swing in the 2 times I've ever been to Texas in my life. So what a crazy play. But we were throwing streamers, and JMU, I mean, it was awesome. It was awesome. Great experience there for the national championship game. That was just one of the fun things that's been going on over this last year.
So you're wearing JMU. That hasn't changed.
That hasn't changed.
But you threw out a different word there. I believe you said fiance.
I did.
Some new things have happened in your life.
Yeah, the amazing, wonderful, smart, talented, beautiful Rena Noeri somehow still hasn't wised up. So she said yes, and so we're engaged. We'll be getting married next May. We're both really excited about that. So and I think we found a pretty okay officiant for that service. It's this guy. You can't officiate your own wedding. I asked. So the whole Jim and Dwight scene, the only person that can be the assistant to the assistant regional manager is Dwight. Yeah. No, I can't marry myself. Really, that show went off the air like years ago. Well worth the watch, but no spoilers alerted at all.
Okay.
But yeah, so that was an exciting turn of events in 2016. Was getting engaged. I proposed on Holy Saturday. So in the middle of Holy Week and all the things that involved, I pulled off a surprise proposal. So it went really well. I had some great friends who helped pull that off, and was very excited about that. But so yeah, that was a big development. I too finished my seminary degree. Graduated with my MDiv from LTSP, RIP. That's one of the big changes. Is LTSP is no longer. They have become a new seminary, but I think we'll get to that a little later in the show. I have been doing my internship in Luray, Virginia with the Stony Man Lutheran Parish, a wonderful 2-point congregation of Grace Lutheran Church and Beth Eden Lutheran Church. Been here since August of 2014. And after 3 years of being their intern, they asked if I'd be willing to stay. And so I was called home to the Virginia Synod, and I have been serving. I was ordained in June and have been serving here as the pastor now. So the 4th year of this relationship. It's a little weird to be, just a few months into my first call and technically be a new pastor, which not technically, very much a new pastor, but coming off of 3 years of pretty intensive pastoral experience with this congregation as their detached site vicar, which meant that my supervisor was in another church. So I was their only pastor for those 3 years as I served as their intern. And so I'm thrilled to be there and be their pastor. We're trying all kinds of new fun things, rolling out some midweek services that have been great. Looking forward to getting those rolling, another rotation of them in September. So I get to be home with friends and family, get to keep bleeding purple and going to JMU games. So a lot has changed, but at the end of the day, not much has changed. Still living purple and loving it.
We are quite the pair.
Yeah, older, wiser, maybe. I don't know. Probably not, and I think that'll come across in this show. We usually like to get into some content like things, but I think this week we really wanted to just kind of get reacquainted with everyone and kind of get back into the flow of doing this show. It's got a different feel to it. From a distance, we used to be sitting in the same room, and now we're a couple hours apart, and so we're getting much the same experience as our listeners.
Pause. Reminisce. We used to sit in your dorm room.
I'm not going to lie. We've moved up a little bit from there.
Your laptop sitting on a dresser with the microphone sitting in front of us on the dresser, with like some of your drawers like hanging, like the drawers hanging out. So like we had to like
all of them.
awkward like maneuver around them. We're both like we're plugged into the same microphone, and so we have to sit like right up next to each other. And we're
moving up.
Yeah,
we had fun, but we're moving up. I'm happy with this setup. I think this is going to work out well for us. So, yeah, I don't know. Anything else? There might be like 10 major things that might have happened. And I think we should get into those and have some conversation around 10 major things that have happened since in the world since we did our last show. But before we do, as always, I think we are going to have a word from our sponsors.
Our sponsors? We have sponsors?
We're legit. Look at us.
We made it.
We got sponsors. So we'll be right back after this word from our sponsors. Hey, Micah.
Hey, Alex. How
you know what? I'm okay, but it has been a long, hot summer where I have been dealing with all kinds of problems. Gluttony, licentiousness, greed,
murder. Greed. Gluttony.
Dancing.
Dancing.
Yeah, maybe not in some circles.
Scratchy lotteries.
I've been dealing with a lot of sin in my life. You know, this hot summer.
This hot summer, it's just the sin is pouring down. I can feel like the red is coming over me. I can feel it. Just you touch it, you can see the smiley face on your skin. It's you know what it is?
What's that?
It's sinburn.
Sinburn? What's sinburn?
Sinburn, you know, when the sin is just radiating down on you and it's just burning you like alive. It's crazy. Sinburn.
Well, wait a second. You what I think we need.
What's that?
We need some sunscreen. Sunscreen to prevent sinburn. You need sunscreen.
Sun, as in S-O-N.
Sunscreen with a sin protection factor of 316. This is the best on the market. New from Coppertone is sunscreen. It's gonna keep the sin burn off you. It's got cooling relief from that burning, searing pain with much weeping and gnashing of teeth. If you're struggling with sinburn, you need sunscreen. We'll be back with a little cooperation. Hey, Mike. Man, this stuff looks like it would be a great product. We should totally try that.
The sponsors.
Sponsors. We are grateful for our sponsors. We couldn't do this show without them.
I do believe we have a shout out because of that sponsors this week. Who did we hear that wonderful ad from?
Yes, I got to thank the ever vigilant, ever watching Lenny Duncan. He's always got an eye out for Sinburn, and he pointed us in the direction of sunscreen. So for Lenny Duncan, we are grateful for your contribution, for sending that in to us, getting us that sponsorship big bucks, which make this possible because we're just in this for the money, obviously. So, like we said, it's been over a year since our last show of A Little Cooperation. A lot has happened, and I think Micah would benefit our listeners to roll through a top 10 list of the top 10 things that have happened since we were last on with A Little Cooperation. Starting at number 10, someone invented video, and A Little Cooperation was never the same again. So
who knew?
In the last 2 years, someone invented video.
Now we can do this. We can do this. It's amazing. It's amazing. Somebody invented this.
Except for those that are still listening to this as a podcast. So for you, just ignore that. Only 9 things happened this year. Speaking of number 9, what was the number 9 thing that happened this year?
Speaking of number 9, we have seen in the last year the rise and fall of quarterback Brock Osweiler.
Yes, you read that right. In the last year, we saw an entire career. We were thinking about that. He was cut today at the time of our recording of this. We're recording this here on September 4th. Brock Osweiler was cut. At this time, during our last show, he was helping the Denver Broncos make a playoff run, at which point Peyton Manning came back and actually won the Super Bowl for them. He was then sent to the Houston Texans, who then dealt him in a colossal failure of a trade to the Cleveland Browns, who then cut him today.
And isn't he going to sign with the Broncos again?
I think he is. I think I saw something like so. Brock Osweiler.
To be the backup of a person who is drafted after him. I mean, oh gosh.
In such a short time, we have seen the full career of Brock Osweiler. So that comes in on our top 10 list at number 9. Number 8 on our list is that Star Wars happened. I mean, and really happened. Since our last episode of A Little Cooperation, we have seen The Force Awakens come out, episode 7, a long-awaited premiere of that. We've seen a new expanded view of the Star Wars universe with Rogue One coming out, and we would be remiss if we didn't mention the life of Carrie Fisher, who passed away during that time frame. What an absolute inspiration, incredible actress. She was Princess Leia, and to us, I know she will always be royalty.
She is now one with the Force.
Yeah. And we give thanks for that. But what a great year for Star Wars. I mean, This is an incredible resurgence. We're looking at The Last Jedi coming out this December. So obviously, as we get closer, we're going to be geeking out a lot more about
Probably that. An entire episode or 5 devoted to that.
Minimum. The Last Jedi coming out in December of 2018.
Number 7. We got a big one for you. Number 7. The Cubbies won the World Series.
What? Cubs win! Cubs win, everybody! If you were a hot dog, would you hate yourself?
Harry Carey, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, the Cubs won the World Series, and it was awesome. I mean, that was a classic. I mean, I'll probably never forget watching that game.
It was incredible.
That game,
incredible series. I mean, mad props to the Indians who, put up such an effort. But I mean, Cubs just fought tooth and nail for that, and that was absolutely incredible. Last time they won the World Series was 1908.
The Ottoman Empire was a thing. So yeah, and if you want to think bad about us for the gap that we've had between our last show and this one, think about the Cubbies. Okay, think about the Cubbies. And unrelated note, totally unrelated, coming in at number 6, hell froze over.
Yeah.
Completely unrelated to a Cubs World Series. Hell frozen. You heard it here first. Number 5?
Coming in at number 5, completely unrelated. We had the dawning of the United Lutheran Seminary with campuses on Gettysburg and Philadelphia, in Philadelphia and Gettysburg, which is incredible news. It was a very, very important and tough decision to move towards that. And as we've seen so far, it's been a lot of thoughtful and prayerful effort has been made in order to try to start the school off right. And I know a lot of people are praying and hoping for the professors, the students, the staff, and the administration in this new endeavor. There's obviously the closing of Philadelphia and Gettysburg as they were formally known, but they're still very much there, carrying their traditional roots, the histories along with them, but starting a brand new thing, trying to bring about some positive change in theological education.
And you might even say bring about a little cooperation. I'm funny. I got the jokes. But I mean, we're excited for them. We're excited for the for this new seminary and for all of our friends that are still there. It was a little strange going through and editing some of our social media platforms and saying, to LTSP students now United Lutheran Seminary. It's a new thing, and so we were part of the last graduating class of the Lutheran Theological Seminary at Philadelphia. And a great commencement, and I think a great way to close an incredible history there. And so our prayers and hopefully our best energies and efforts can go with those students that are still there to pioneer this new way in theological education. So we're excited for what they're doing in Gettysburg and Philadelphia. Coming in at number 4, game changer right here. Moana came out and in humble opinions all around is working to eclipse, which also happened, eclipse Frozen as just the greatest. I love that. I love that movie.
What can I say except you're welcome?
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Great movie, and I'm trying so hard. We're having a movie night for our Sunday school on Friday. We're doing an outdoor movie, and I'm like, come on, Moana, let's watch it for like the 500th time.
Yeah.
So, Moana, it's exciting.
It's a good one. Coming in at number 3, I don't know why this made the list for some reason. I don't know how it happened, but the Patriots won the Super Bowl.
Woo! The Foxborough Goats. Tom Brady, the greatest of all time. You want to talk about amazing games? We can talk about, the World Series Game 7. That was one of the most incredible things I've ever witnessed in sports. The Patriots coming back from 28-3 down. Nothing seems impossible when I see those numbers together. Like, could I run a marathon together tomorrow? Probably not. 28-3. You know what? Yes, I can. What a game. What a game. I was with a bunch of friends who none of them liked the Patriots. And one of my friends who is a big Patriots fan, we were like watching with them. We're going to leave and go watch this back at her apartment and just be sad together. And we ended up running, screaming through the streets. Because what else do you do when Tom Brady gets Super Bowl number 5? The
just
GOAT
decides to go off. Just absolutely great. And my addendum to that, it's not a separate number, but Carson Wentz is now the quarterback of the Eagles. So in Carson Wentz we trust.
Hey, I can't hate that. He's a good Lutheran.
He is a good Lutheran.
So credit where credit's due. Although on their way to the national championship, James Madison University beat his alma mater, North Dakota State, and we beat them 5-time reigning national champion. A lot. And 5 is the number of Super Bowls Tom Brady has because he's the GOAT. And speaking of GOATs, coming in at number 2 on our list, Micah got a goatee. I've been meaning to tell you the entire episode. You got something on your face. You need to
just right here.
Yeah, it's a little right there. We thought that, again, this isn't your list. This is our list.
It makes me look older.
That's why I wear a collar.
Like the biggest thing, like I wear a collar and people still are like, "What are you, 12?" I'm like, I have facial hair. Doesn't work. Still doesn't work.
Yeah, no, that's nothing's gonna help me look older. So, yeah. Well, number 2, that was a significant event in the last year. Micah got a goatee.
And coming in at number 1, drum roll. Someone thought it would be a good idea
for us to be pastors.
What?
What?
That was a good idea.
I don't know. And hopefully this show doesn't make them change their mind.
We always had like a disclosure in every one of our last episodes saying like, if our candidacy committees are listening to this, please know.
Yeah, we're joking now. ELC disciplinary board. I don't know. It's in God's hands at this point. Somebody decided it would be a good idea for us to be pastors. That comes in at number 1 on our list. We've had a good time. We've had a lot of fun things happen since December of 2015, and we're looking forward to many more good things happening, coming up with another many more top 10 lists of ridiculous things that are going on in the world. But we've spent our time looking back, looking at everything that has happened, and so now we're excited to look forward. We got some hopes for this show and seeing what this can be. Again, we're trying this in the new format, and I think that's going to be a lot of fun, seeing what we can do with that and how we can develop a little cooperation to be meaningful for our listeners. But we hope this goes well. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what we want. With this video capability, we're hoping maybe for some video segments. We can look around in our communities and see some things that are going on, and maybe do interviews with some of those that are listening, and have you submit some things. If you've got videos, you got cool things that you want to showcase. If you want to showcase cooperation in your communities, do that. If you want to talk and engage about places where we've seen a breakdown of cooperation, let's engage that. Let's find these ways, because that's the heart of the gospel message, is reconciliation. We are, through the love of Christ, we are reconciled to our Creator, and what a gift that is, and that's the grace that we live in. And so we're doing that. We're trying to do that work through our own means of weird banter. Is this good banter?
Is this good banter?
Yeah, I think it is good banter.
It is good banter.
And, in the spirit of Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert, we're hoping to maybe have some correspondence. So if you're looking to be a part of a little cooperation, let us know.
We're looking, no audition necessary. Just start videoing, send it to us if you have an idea for it. We would love to have you work on your best accents. We always appreciate them. Mm-hmm. We're looking for funny correspondence, or just, it could be dead serious too. We're always, the most important thing is we're promoting cooperation in the world. So please, we're looking for regular or irregular correspondence. It does not have.
I'm pretty sure if we're setting the standard here, you got to be irregular. That's it's gonna be it. But at the end of the day, I hope that people who listen get something from this. Even if it's just a few laughs, I think that's a gift, and that's what we're trying to do. We're rekindling this because we had fun doing it. We've had fun planning this, and we're having fun implementing it. And I hope that you guys can see that, and that you all enjoy the fun that's going on here between us as well. So, Mikey, do you have any closing thoughts for us? Anything to say as we wrap up this first episode back?
Really excited to be doing this show again. Really excited to be working with you again, Alex. This is just this show brought me life back when we were doing it that one semester, and so I know it was always our dream that we could get it up and running kind of consistently, just for us to have a creative outlet. But I think what we learned from not every episode, but from a few of those episodes, was that us being able to share the gospel message in a platform that has capacity to reach anywhere because of what technology can do these days. I mean, we actually saw that we can do a little bit of good, and that I know blew us away. We didn't know.
No clue. And that was, I think that reaching out theme was one of those things we were doing. We were finding ways for people to reach out in their communities, and we're going to keep doing that. That's fun.
Yep.
And that's fun for us, as much as the banter and the laughs and the jokes, those are fun. Reaching out, trying to do some good in the world. That's a delight too. So glad that you joined us for this episode. We're looking forward to many more. If you got suggestions, you got questions, you got comments, you can find us on all of our various social media platforms. Check us out on Facebook. We're also on Twitter at A Little Co-op. The video will be going on our YouTube channel, so you can like and subscribe to us there. And we're hoping to have our own website soon where we can be able to host some of these podcasts and be able to have them up there. But we're just excited to be back here again. Engage, talk back. We'd love to hear from you. It's better than us just talking into microphones. But for for our show today, I'm Alex.
And I'm Micah.
And it's always a good time for a little cooperation.